Okay, so are you ready to like really dive deep today?
I am. I am. Bring it on.
All right, because today we're going to be looking at,
Okay.
you know how we'd like to take like one little piece of source
All
material,
right.
kind of just like really
Yeah.
like gring it out, you know?
Totally.
Yeah. So today we're going to be looking at a song
Yeah.
called "The Ageless Heart."
Right.
Um, and this song is, I think, going to be a really interesting one
Okay.
to look at together because it basically tells the story
Okay.
through these lyrics
Yeah.
of a character who lives for centuries
Oh, wow.
and experiences like all of history, like firsthand.
Oh, that's cool.
And but the song kind of like explores, what are the implications of that?
Right.
Like what does that actually mean
Yep.
to be outside of like the normal flow of time?
Yeah.
And can you gain, wisdom and knowledge
Yeah.
at the cost of like human connection?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a really, really fascinating one.
Yeah.
Me too. So like as always, we're not going to like give you a bunch of background info or
Yeah.
anything. We assume that you've either like heard this song or like
Yeah.
you've at least read the lyric.
Right. Exactly.
So we're just going to kind of jump right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so like right away the song starts with this image that really sets the tone,
Hmm.
Shadows in the mirror, faces fade to gray. What do you get from those lines?
Well, I mean, right away, it's like kind of melancholy, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's like a sadness there,
Yeah, totally.
and this feeling of like time passing,
Right.
of things slipping away.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like physical aging, I don't think.
Right, right.
It's like everything around the character is kind of like,
Fading.
yeah, fading and temporary, and they're the only constant, it seems like.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes on to, to say, born in fire, baptized in ancient winds, I walk the earth with secrets no one comprehends. It's like, how do we even wrap our heads around that?
I know, right? It's like, on the one hand, you have this like incredible power and
Right.
ancient knowledge, right?
Right.
But also this like feeling of being a ghost,
Yeah,
unseen, unheard.
totally. It's like they're almost a spectator to history, not a participant.
Right. And they've seen so much, but they can't share it.
Yeah, they're like holding all this knowledge inside.
Yeah, and no one to really understand it.
And then you get to the chorus and it just hits you with this wave of, I don't know, almost like existential loneliness. Especially that line, 10 years a name, then I'm gone like the breeze, a whisper in the dark, just another memory.
Oh, yeah. That line is like haunting almost
It is.
because it really like puts things in perspective,
Yeah.
right? Like our
That's
lives,
so short.
yeah, compared to this character, right?
Right, right.
We're just like little blips on the radar screen.
Exactly. And yet for this character, every individual life is just a fleeting moment in their own vast existence. It's almost like tragic.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you wonder what kind of toll that would take on someone's soul.
Right. And it makes that next line, 1,000 suns I've seen, yet none to call my own, all the more heartbreaking. I mean, think about that. Witnessing so much beauty and history, but still feeling utterly alone.
It really emphasizes that human need for connection, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how long you live
Yeah.
or how much you've seen.
Right.
We all crave that sense of belonging.
Totally. And then I think the second verse starts to explore the kind of darker side of all this experience. It's like, okay, you've lived for centuries, you've seen it all, but what's the cost?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And that line, the wisdom of the ages, it's a burden, it's a key, really gets to the heart of that question, I think.
Definitely. It suggests that wisdom can be a double-edged sword. Yeah.
Totally. It's like on the one hand, you have all this insight and
Yeah.
understanding and you see the world in a completely different way.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it could also like isolate you.
Yeah.
Because how do you relate to people who haven't lived through the things you've seen?
That's such a good point. It's like you're almost cursed with knowledge in a way.
Right, exactly. And it makes you wonder if that's why the character is so guarded, so reluctant to share their wisdom.
Which totally comes through in the next few lines. I speak in riddles, hide my truths in a smile, for knowledge can betray and power can beguile. I mean, they've clearly learned to be cautious to protect themselves.
Right. And you can't really blame them, can you? After seeing how knowledge and power have been misused throughout history, it makes sense that they would be hesitant to just share their wisdom freely.
Yeah, they've probably seen firsthand how easily things can go wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, so then we get to the bridge and whoa.
Yeah, right.
The imagery gets super intense here.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the character standing in the ruins of empires.
It's such a powerful image, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like a visual representation of the character's perspective on history.
Yeah, like it's all temporary.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever, except for, well, the ageless heart, I guess.
Right.
But even for them, there's loss.
Yeah, definitely.
That line, friendships are a flicker, love a fleeting dream, is just brutal.
It's like a punch to the gut, you
Yeah.
know? Because even though they have this unique gift or maybe curse of immortality, they still can't escape the pain of loss.
Right, and it kind of reinforces that idea that they're always on the outside looking in.
Exactly. They've seen countless relationships come and go, and that's got to take a toll on your ability to truly connect with people.
Then in the third verse, we get these glimpses into the character's past, like when they mention dancing with kings, whispering in prophets' ears. I mean, talk about name dropping, right?
Right. Imagine the stories they could tell.
I know. But I also wonder if those experiences, while amazing, might have also been kind of disillusioning, like seeing the reality behind the myths and legends.
That's an interesting point. I mean, seeing how decisions are made at the highest levels, how destinies are shaped,
Right.
that could be both awe-inspiring and kind of a letdown, couldn't it?
Totally. And then we get this line, but the price of truth is solitude and the weight of endless years. It's almost like a summary of everything we've been talking about.
It is, isn't it? It
Yeah.
really drives home that idea that true knowledge often comes at the cost of isolation.
Yeah, it's like a trade-off.
Yeah.
You gain wisdom, but you lose connection.
Exactly.
And then we get this final beautiful image. My heart is a labyrinth with no end in sight. I mean, talk about a metaphor that just stays with you.
It's perfect, isn't it? It encapsulates that feeling of endless searching, that longing for meaning and connection that never quite gets fulfilled.
Yeah. It's like they're constantly wandering, but never quite reaching their destination.
Right, but there's also this sense of acceptance, I think, in the outro, like in the lines, "Eternal is my journey, my curse and my grace, to live forever in every nameless face." It's bittersweet, you know?
It is. It makes you think about the human experience in a whole new way.
Mhm.
Like maybe our limitations, the fact that our time is finite, are actually a gift.
Yeah, because it gives our lives meaning.
Exactly. It makes our connections precious.
I mean, that's kind of a profound thought to end on, isn't it?
It is. It really makes you think.
Yeah, it does. So I guess the question for all of you listening out there is,
Yeah.
would you want to experience life as the ageless heart?
That's a tough one.
It is, right? To see it all, to know it all,
Yeah.
but to maybe never truly feel a part of it.
Mm,
It's something to think about, isn't it?
definitely.
All right, well, that's our deep dive for today.
That was awesome.
It was good, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you next time.